My mom and dad are always mad at each other.
I found out about my parents' divorce the day after my mom, brother, and I left our house.
I was shocked. It makes me worried.
More than 50% of marriages end in divorce. In St. Louis alone, there are 5,000 dissolutions of marriage that involve children every single year. That's a lot of children that are struggling with divorce.
My parents hate each other.
My mom and dad got into a big fight, and my mom told me to get some clothes so we could leave.
They are the innocent victims in the whole process.
We had 2 daughters at the time and 1 on the way. The girls were 6 and 4 at the time that we were divorced.
I was confused and upset.
My parents are always fighting and going to court.
I wasn't told anything. I go in my room when they fight because I get scared.
I had to put her to sleep and be there with her all the time.
What we've come to learn more, too, is that it's trauma, and that they suffer from a divorce as other children do from trauma.
It was kind of sudden. My mom didn't really know that my dad was leaving. We didn't know. They didn't fight. They seemed like perfectly happy people.
But it was very difficult for me to tell them that this is what was going on and that Dad was not coming home, and Dad loved them very much but didn't want to be with us and to live with us any longer.
My heart hurts. I wish they would be friends again.
My heart feels broken in 2 pieces.
I was a wreck. I couldn't even talk to him because I just cried the whole time. They had to take the phone away from me because I couldn't stop crying. I was shocked at first. I didn't really know how to feel, I guess. I was stressed out, nervous, really upset.
I didn't want her to bottle up her feelings and not be able to talk to me.
These children don't know what to expect. They're afraid, they're fearful, they're anxious, they think it's their fault.
And I thought it was me, I thought it was my sisters. I didn't know why he didn't want to be there anymore. He didn't explain himself. I think coming here taught me that it wasn't my fault, that I didn't have anything to do with it.
I'm a child of divorce, and my children are children of divorce. And this is a very common thing. And people ask me all the time, it's so common, is it affecting your children? Is it affecting my children? And my answer is, of course it is. My kids are fearful, they're anxious, they worry, and so do yours. And that's where Kids in the Middle can help these kids. We help these families and these kids transition and be able to deal with the changes that are happening in their families.
You need somewhere where kids can come together and, talk about it themselves.
And they feel very isolated and alone. And that's why Kids in the Middle is such an important piece for them, because this is a place where they meet other children who are going through the same thing, and it really normalizes the situation for them and makes them feel not so alone and not so isolated.
Probably the most valuable thing about the experience was that it helped him understand that he wasn't alone. So I could see in him that helped a lot at first. It still didn't make it something that he wanted or that he thought was right, but at least he got the idea that this wasn't just something happening just to him, it was happening to a lot of different kids.
Kids in the Middle is very different than any other counseling. We don't just have one therapist and one child. We bring together a group of 5 or 6 kids that are the same age, going through the same thing, to work with the therapist using play therapy to help them normalize their feelings.
We did art. I'll never forget the art. That was really fun. And coloring and stuff like that, coloring our feelings. That really helped me, I think. I didn't really realize what I was doing at the time, I don't think. But now, looking back on it, it helped to express my feelings that way.
Play is their language when they're little, and the toys that they use are the words that they're trying to convey. It's amazing to watch them. They're pretty amazing little people.
Kids in the Middle takes children from a place of fear, anger, anxiety, to a place of happiness.
I think that the most important thing really is to know that, you know, there are other people that the same thing happens to them, that they're able to work through it, that things can be good down the road, and that even if things seem bad at first, that they get better.
I know it's not my fault anymore, because I know a lot of people who do, and they think it's their fault, or they're, I don't know, and they still hate their parents because of it, and I'm just happy that I don't have to hate my parents at all, either of them.
It's wonderful to see her grow up and to be happy and to be healthy, and I absolutely attribute a lot of that to her time at Kids in the Middle.
My hope for the children and families in St. Louis is that we can reach all of those kids that need the comfort and support and skills that we give them at Kids in the Middle.
Today I'm happy and I love both of my parents equally, and I'm doing great. I'm fantastic.
We are still a family even if we live in 2 homes.
I learned that I can talk to my mom and dad.
I understand my angry feelings now.
And I know what to do with them. I can talk about my feelings there and they listen.
I learned that I can talk to my mommy and daddy.
Now I know I'm not the only one.
The only one. There are other
kids like me.
Other kids like me. It makes me feel good.